Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the EpiSeedLink podcast. I'm Shannon. I'm originally from South Africa, but now I'm a PhD student at the University of Zurich in Switzerland.
And my name is Carlos. I am from Granada in Spain, but I'm doing my PhD in Valencia at the UPB. Both of us are EpiSeedLink fellows, and we are funded by the Marie Curie Doctoral Training Network. In today's episode, we're talking about something we rarely get to hear about, the real life outside the lab for PhD students.
Yeah, I'm excited about this topic. Today, we're going to dive into everything from how Carlos and I have seen the evolution of our daily routines throughout the PhD, how we manage to balance life and research, and whether or not we've completely put our personal goals on hold for our PhDs.
Let's do it.
Okay, well then let's dive right in. Carlos, I've known you for over 2 years now.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but things have changed a bit for you in your PhD comparing like how you started with your lifestyle and where you are now.
Yeah, you're completely right. So to be honest, my life used to be pretty different before I started the PhD. Back then I was going out a lot. I had a really active social life. It was actually hard to find a day when I didn't have something planned with friends. And on weekends, I loved going out, partying. Basically, I didn't rest much during the weekends either. When I started the PhD, I quickly realized that this kind of lifestyle wasn't really compatible with having a structured life, or let's say being responsible and actually functioning well during the week. So I have changed things a bit now. These days I prefer social plans that are a bit more chill, like going to the cinema or grabbing dinner with friends. You know, I prefer that rather than going out and partying and spending all my energy.
Changed man.
Yeah, on weekends I really try to prioritize myself and I just rest and recharge for just starting the week fresh, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would never survive that lifestyle, but I'm glad you've kind of gone through this transition period, and it sounds like now you found your balance between life and lab. And don't get me wrong, I've loved going clubbing with you a few times in Madrid, but in my case, it was nice, barely survived. But in my case, I've always enjoyed the quieter lifestyle. And I've now made a lot of friends in Zurich that enjoy going out once in a while, and they make it very hard for me to say no to. But I also love to spend a lot of my time with my partner after hours when I leave the lab. And both of us, we enjoy a chilled lifestyle. And this was the case before I started the PhD. And even now, you know, going into the third year, I'm still feeling the same.
Could you tell me what your average day looks like?
So I tend to get up really early on my average work day. You know, like I'm firing in the morning, but then need to be winding down by 8 p.m., you know. So I wake up early, I go to the gym, I work out every second day, but I also try to leave the lab at 5. You know, some people prefer to be active after lab hours. I'm not that person. And depending on the day, I have a selection of things I enjoy doing. One of them is playing for the Institute sports team, and this is a good way for me to network with the other PhD students. I love tap dancing. I know that's a strange thing to say, but I love tap dancing. And other than that, I like doing normal human things like making delicious food, tending to the garden on my tiny balcony in Zurich, and getting normal life things done, like doing my washing, cleaning the flat, you know, nothing too glamorous.
You lie, you cannot enjoy washing dishes.
I never said I enjoy it, I do it.
Okay. But for me, doing exercise is also one of the best ways to disconnect, feel better about myself and clear my mind a bit. But in my case, I cannot go in the morning. That's not happening. I prefer evenings, you know. I guess we all have different routines or habits that works for us in a different way. And it's just a matter of figuring out what kinds of routine helps you keep a healthy work-life balance.
Yeah. I think it's each person to themselves on finding that work-life balance. So you've brought this work-life balance up now. Maybe this is not the most spoken about topic, but I feel like it's important to discuss. Looking at your PhD, do you still see it as a lifestyle of being a student? Or are you at the point in your professional student career now where you're starting to see it more as a job?
Well, good question. You will probably agree with me that doing a PhD isn't just like a regular job.
Mm-mm.
You know, an entire project depends on your work, and sometimes it's really hard to stop thinking about your next experiment or that upcoming meeting that is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, totally.
But personally, I sometimes need to disconnect so I can recharge and come back the next day with more energy. My job is a big part of my life, but it's not my whole life. I actually try to set fixed working hours and make sure I prioritize my life outside the lab, because in the end, that's what truly makes me happy. I really hate being in a bad mood at home just because an experiment failed or a presentation didn't go well. I try to leave those problems at the lab and keep them separate from my actual life.
I think you brought up a really good point of not bringing the lab home with you, which I think a lot of people struggle to do.
Yeah.
And to disconnect when you say like the whole project is resting on you to be functional, you know? And
Exactly.
yeah, it brings up a comment I remember my mom making, and she used to reinforce this in her house growing up, that whatever you're trying to achieve in life, in general, that nothing is worth risking your health or your happiness. And I learned out the hard way, like through my master's degree and my undergrad, that this doesn't just apply to your physical health, but to your mental health as well. And at least for me, I hope to carry this mentality on with me to whatever position it might come up next. So whether it's a postdoc or an industry position, I always want to keep that in the top of my mind, like to not be letting your projects run your life. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about the PhD. So at the moment, I feel like Carlos and I are living a bit of a nomadic lifestyle. Earlier this month, we were in Germany together fulfilling a secondment.
That was fun.
It was fun. We were in the middle of nowhere, but we found a way to make it fun.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. I talk about lifestyle. Hey, you took up photography of wildlife in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I took great pictures. I have to show you.
I took up trying some good German beers with you. That was also fun.
Yeah.
So you see, work-life balance. But okay, back to the nomadic lifestyle. For those of you who don't know, being placed in one of these EU consortium projects means that you're on the move a lot. Whether it's going on secondments for months where you're placed in industry positions, or you're attending annual meetings or going to conferences, it's a lot of movement. And it sounds exciting. It is exciting. But maybe we can discuss some of the downsides and upsides of what this means in terms of lifestyle.
You know, for me, I think it's mostly upsides.
Nice.
Probably traveling is my favorite part of being a scientist, especially being a EpiSeedLink fellow, because we have these amazing opportunities to travel while we are working. That's amazing. It's not just about doing research or meeting other scientists. It's also about to live in different countries and getting to know different cultures and, you know, even learning new languages. Well, I have to admit that my German didn't improve a lot during my last secondment in Germany.
Oh, you and me both, and I'm living in Zurich.
Entschuldigung, that was that. No? It's the only one I know. Yeah, but I think that it also has some downsides, no? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like a double-edged sword. Like the downside for me, because I love routine, is that it disrupts your routine. Like naturally travel's going to, you know, you cannot keep going with the food you're eating, your gym routine, none of that stays, you know, and you've got to be open enough to let it go when you know you need to travel. And I think that's something us PhD students in the consortium, we're really good at doing. We can get up and go on a whim. But you do get these disruptions. But I think all these amazing opportunities that it gives outweighs those negative sides. And for me, only having a South African passport, it's exceptionally difficult to travel. And now I not only can travel, I have this opportunity to be placed abroad and to be studying abroad so far away from home and not having to deal with visa issues. I mean, except for Ireland here, okay, that's a whole nother conversation. But these minor inconveniences for the amount of travel and exposure we get, to me, it also, I think we both agree that the upsides really, you know...
Yeah, they are worth it.
Yeah. So in terms of that, this EpiSeedLink program has been incredible. And you know what? Carlos and I are actually here recording in Ireland now. We are attending our annual meeting in Galway. And we've been speaking for the last 10 minutes about work-life balance. And it is now actually 6:30.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think we should get out of here. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, like we have been working the whole day, too much work. Should we keep this work-life balance, right?
We should.
Are you up for a Guinness?
I would love a pint. I thought you would never ask.
Let's go.
Let's get out of here. See you next time.
See you next time.